Welcome back, Blade fans. Got something new to show you. I'm a little late to the party on this one, as I think this may have come out at least a year ago. And this is the Bestech Predator, a internal design by Bestech Knives. It does not have a designer's name associated with it, so they were saying it's an internal design, and let me tell you, it's a beautiful knife right next to the Togata, which I'll show you in a moment for comparison. It is one of my favorite Bestech knives, and certainly one of the top two Bestech Tanto style knives. Let's take a closer look. What we've got is bead blast here, satin belt finish on the forward grind, and we have the same kind of frosted looking bead blast on the top swedge, which is interesting. Almost a little hint of a harpoon there. Then we've got a deep fuller, for lack of a better name, with the Bestech logo inside. And by the way, that fuller is not much use for opening, unfortunately. But if you have this knife, you may want to try. We have a wide open design except for a small backspacer in the rear, and that's so tastefully designed. All of this is very reminiscent of Todd Knife and Tool. If you didn't tell me, I would say it's probably got some Todd Knife and Tool influence. There's that landing pad that they like to put on their knives, so that's where your index finger ends up after the flip. So that little bit of a rise right there almost gives it a slight, I say, Persian look to it. Beautiful gold pivot surrounds on both sides, and look at that. Tighten it with a coin, probably a nickel. It's fairly wide. We've got these beautiful carbon fiber inserts, and I saw on White Mountain Knives, where I picked this knife up, that they sell for around 20 bucks or even less replacement inserts, one with kind of a swirled G10, you know, that lava looking G10, and a red and black carbon fiber. I looked at those as close as I could in the photos, and I kind of like this better than those two. This is a really excellent woven carbon fiber. Both sides, which is nice. Very modern looking clip, almost looks like a blade. Like that too. And probably this screw and that pivot and that screw is what holds the inserts in if they are removable. It's a frame lock with a very smooth, I would say, hydraulic sort of an action on it. I'm trying to get, there we go. And there is a hint of purple in the anodizing. It's sold as purple. It looks like you really have to look at it just right, but it does have a grayish purple or a purple grayish tone to it. And it's not micro milled, it is bead blasted, so again we've got that frosty flat kind of a look to it. Beautiful hidden lanyard pin, completely sunken into that recess in the pommel, so when you turn it that way you see nothing. Nothing interferes with the show side or even with the clip side as far as that goes. Very cool design. How's the action? Well, unless you run into backgrounds, it is hard if not impossible to fail. It's nicely tuned. Just flips right out there. Very crisp. Snap-a-rooty. And again, if we look at these fullers, they're really buried in there. Let's see what I can do. Nope, it's pretty well tuned for the flipper, but it's not weak enough to use either a middle finger flick or the thumb. Although, again, I'm sure there's those of you out there that are going to be able to do that. Let's measure it up. I just noticed my scale's way off to the side, so I have to take a trip for that. Overall length, like 8.3. Blade length, 3.5 to the handle, but the cutting edge 3 3/4. Interesting when you have that peak sticking out there and the blade way back here with a large sharpening choil. Very nice. That's what happens. And it looks like my calipers have crapped out, but I'm going to call that around 4 millimeters. It's fairly thick. If I can get the specs, I will put them up on the screen and you should be seeing them right now if I found them and put them in the text. We do, however, have a functioning scale. Caliper, I think, is just out of batteries. And I do have a second backup one, but what good is the backup if you don't have it nearby, right? There we go. Come on. Scale's being temperamental too. How about 4.12 ounces? That's not too bad. 4.12 ounces. And that beckons the next question. Is there weight relieving inside? None that I can see. Well, yeah, there's a little pocket over here. Yeah, there's a little bit of weight relieving. Yeah, I see what they did. It's a very large, shallow weight reduction, running the full length of the scale inside. That is cool. And of course, you've got weight relieving through the inletting they had to do for the carbon fiber scales. Again, just a beautiful Tanto. Just, if you love Tantos, you're going to love this blade. And last that I looked, they're still available. This particular one for $199, I think, on White Mountain Knives. Now, a lot of you asked ahead of time when I threw the video up there first ahead of the review, compare it to the Togata. So let's do that. There's the Togata by Morgan Cohen's. And it is a longer knife by an inch overall because it's a full 4-inch knife. And how about the blade if we line up these two peaks? The blade, interestingly enough, is only a hair longer, maybe 1/4 of an inch longer. So we've got a heck of a handle, as you can see, on the Togata, a good inch longer. So probably a better, yes, blade to handle ratio on the Predator as opposed to the Togata, which ends way back here, and we've got this solid backspacer that takes up that space where the blade can't go. Very interesting. Togata has great action. Of course, it's a thumb stud opener, and it's heavier. This is a good deal lighter. Two beauties, though. Little taller blade on the Togata. Different configuration to the handle. What if we stack it up against some of the usual suspects? How about the Griptilian? And the Griptilian coming in pretty close, just about a 1/2 inch shorter maybe, if that. And how about the Rat one? Rat one, yeah, you're a good 3/4 of an inch longer overall, Rat one. But again, the blade is the same. So we got more handle on both the Togata and on the Rat 1. Very interesting. Yeah, a little over 4 ounces, and it definitely is a light and maneuverable knife. Yeah, you can cap your thumb on that squared off pommel very easily. Love it. I like everything you did with this knife. S35VN, if I didn't mention that, that'll be in the specs as well. Nicely done carbon fiber. It does stand proud of the handle, but it's got to do one of those things if you're going to be able to remove it. I would say being taller or thicker than the mating surface of titanium there on the handle is probably better for getting it out, if that's what you elect to do. But since it's removable, you can also, if you want to get real crazy, match up your own custom piece or send it out to knife modders or what have you. Hardened steel insert, if I didn't mention that. Beautiful, smooth. It's not fall shut completely. It probably will be, but it's got that smooth, effortless pneumatic action. I mean, a little bit of effort, right? Not much. A little bit of effort, it completely closes. That is the Bestech Predator S35VN titanium and carbon fiber. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. Thank you so much.